last session of the year. Just going to wait for a few more people to turn up. So I'll just wait for a few more people to turn up. The session's just going to be chatting about some of the benefits that you might be entitled to as a kidney patient or carer of someone with kidney disease. And we'll talk about some of the support options available that Kidney Wales can offer as well, that is there, and different places that you can get help and support over the next few winter months, as cost of living is still around and still affecting lots of families and people, more so kidney patients who are vulnerable as well. So thank you for joining, and I'll just wait a little bit longer. Okay, so I'll just make a little start then. It's been 5 minutes now, so I'll just make a start. So I'm just going to have a little quick chat to you about some of the benefits that are available for anybody that is struggling with the cost of living. It's really important to try and maximise your incomes and see if there's things out there that you could potentially be entitled to, just to help during the winter months. Obviously, being diagnosed with chronic kidney disease can leave you pretty concerned about your income and your ability to work. Every kidney journey is different, as we know, and you may find that continuing to work could be suitable for you, or you may need to reduce your hours, perhaps change your roles or take time off just to manage your condition, and all of those can have an impact on your financial situation and the money that you have coming in. So I'll firstly chat about statutory sick pay. So obviously, if you've been diagnosed with kidney disease, and it can happen quite quickly sometimes, if you're too ill to work and need longer time off, you might qualify for statutory sick pay, so SSP. So this is paid by your employer for up to 28 weeks. You might receive more if your company provides occupational sick pay. So if you've got a sick policy, it's good to kind of brush up on that and have a look at your own policies and work. We can also we have ambassadors that can come into your employers if you'd like to sort of educate them a little bit more about kidney disease and the effects that it can have on you. We can certainly arrange awareness talks to your employer as well, just to make them a little bit more aware about your kidney disease and how it can affect you. You might receive more sick pay if your company provides that, to top up with the SSP there. But I'd check with your employer and obviously those policies that are available. If you don't qualify for SSP or the payments have stopped, you then might be able to claim for employment support allowance or universal credit, as it probably would be now. So ESA can help support you get back to work if you're unable to work. So this might not be for you, but you might be entitled to ESA if you're under state pension age and you have a disability or health condition that affects your ability to work. You need to have worked as an employee and paid sufficient national insurance contributions over the last 2 or 3 years. And then obviously this can, we'll go on to talk about universal credit as well. So universal credit works sort of in the same way. It's a monthly payment to help support with everyday living costs. You may be entitled to universal credit if you are on a low income, or if you're out of work again, or can't work for medical reasons as well. And universal credit has an umbrella of branches as well. So if you're caring for someone, some of the benefits are getting transferred over to universal credit. If you're already on tax credits, any new claim for benefits will now be universal credit rather than tax credits now. PIP as well, so personal independent payment. So PIP can help with living costs if you have a long-term physical or mental health condition or disability, and if you have difficulty getting around or completing sort of everyday tasks. So PIP is split into two parts. So you've got your daily living, so things if you need help with everyday tasks, so things like eating, drinking, preparing food, washing, going to the bathroom, dressing and undressing, any sort of everyday daily living tasks then. And the second part of PIP, the criteria surrounds mobility. So if you need help getting around, such as planning and following a familiar or unfamiliar journey, or physically moving around as well, so getting to and from anywhere, do you need help and support getting around the house, getting to the local bus stop, do you need mobility car, are you using that, or can you get out the house at all there? So you don't have to, it doesn't have to have a you don't have to have a physical disability to receive the mobility part of PIP. You could also be eligible if you're having difficulty getting around due to a mental health condition or anxiety perhaps. So some of the evidence that you would need to use to support that PIP application, remember to include how your health condition affects your day-to-day living and not solely on the medical condition itself. So obviously you've got kidney disease, for example, so don't just focus on that health condition. Take a look at the bigger picture and how it affects your daily living. So for example, medication, think about the side effects that some of those medications may have on you, such as tiredness or sickness. Any sort of supporting letters from healthcare providers, such as people who are involved in your care, your nurses, your consultants, physiotherapists, anything, scan or x-ray results, an occupational therapy report perhaps, and if you are on home dialysis, it could help as well if you add a photograph of your home dialysis machine, of that setup. Mainly the applications are online, so they don't tend to have a paper application anymore. It's either online or via the telephone if you have difficulty with online, but you can email photographs or we could certainly help support with that. And just evidence of your stock as well and how it's affecting your daily life, having all this stock and the dialysis machine at home. And don't forget, obviously, members of your renal team can help support with any application by providing letters and sort of helping to detail the effects of your condition and what that has on your day-to-day life. The renal social workers, it's part of their bread and butter as well with these forms. They're very familiar with filling in PIP applications and supporting those as well. So just make sure that you keep any photocopies of any evidence that you do send with that application. It might also help to keep a diary of evidence on how your condition affects your day-to-day living. Just to kind of keep a record so that they can have a better idea of how that affects you over a period of time. Because the people that actually assess these applications are not medically trained, so the more evidence that you can provide with the supporting letters, your medication, your lists, your photographs, anything that you can provide, the better, so that it kind of paints that picture of how kidney disease is actually affecting your life there. So there obviously the previous was disability living allowance. That actually falls under PIP, so it's sort of no longer disability living allowance. Any new claims will fall under that now. So obviously if you know someone that's claiming disability living allowance, that will eventually migrate to PIP in the future as well. It works the same way as obviously if you have a child with disability or health condition, you can claim for that as well. So the child's disability or health condition must mean at least they need sort of more looking after than a child of the same age who does not have a disability, if they have difficulty getting about. So it works in the same way. They still kind of assess their day-to-day living, how much support do they need during that day, and how much support they need getting around, getting dressed, and the usual sort of day-to-day tasks there. and they must, the criteria tends to be that they must have had these difficulties for at least 3 months, and expect them to last for at least 6 months going forward as well. So it is slightly different with that. So the care component, it works the same way when you're applying for children. It's a care component and a mobility component. So the rate will depend on the level of looking after that child needs. You have a lower rate, a middle rate, and a higher rate. The lowest rate is if the child needs help for part of the day. A middle rate kind of looks into things like, do they need more frequent help or constant supervision during the day? Do they need supervision at night or someone to help perhaps when they're on dialysis? The highest rate then will be things like helping, do you need to have supervision throughout both the day and night? And the mobility part then, we'll move on to that. So that's the care component, and the mobility part also works on that. So you've got the lowest rate and the highest rate for that. The lowest rate then will get paid with, can they walk but they just need a bit of help and supervision when they're outside? So can they walk, to shorter distances? The highest rate then will be paid if they can't walk at all, or can only walk sort of very short distances without discomfort, or becoming really ill if they try to walk, or also if they're sight impaired or are blind as well. So the rates do vary. I won't say the exact rates, as they change all the time. Well, yearly they change, and they're reviewed on a case-by-case basis as well. If you are caring for someone, if caring for an adult or child, if you care for someone for at least 35 hours per week and they receive certain benefits, then you might be entitled to carers allowance. That's around, at the moment, £76 a week. You don't have to be related to that person or live with that person that you care for to claim carers allowance. But in order to claim it, you can claim it if you're unemployed and working. However, you can't be earning more than £139 a week. So the criteria is quite steep for that one. You can't really be earning very much in order to claim that carers allowance. Carers allowance will count as income, so if you're claiming sort of other means tested benefits, it is going to class as an income, so it may affect that benefit cap that you have there. The eligibility, as I've mentioned, it's you need to be caring for someone for at least 35 hours a week, and the person you care for must be claiming a benefit because of their disability. So that could be if they're claiming attendance allowance or the middle or higher rate of PIP, and sort of either level of the daily living component for PIP, so whether that's the lower or the higher rate there as well. You can't qualify for carers allowance if you're in full-time education, or if someone else is claiming carers allowance looking after that same person. So only one person can claim carers allowance. Before you do make a claim, it is really important to check with the person that you're caring for what benefits they're claiming, as the amount that you receive will affect what they receive in their benefits. So if they're receiving things like job seekers allowance, income support, employment and support allowance, or housing benefit, that payment will go down if you're claiming carers allowance to help look after them. I've mentioned the benefit cap, so I can move on to pension credit. So I know this is a really whistle-stop tour of the benefits that are available out there, and obviously if you do have any questions you can give us a call, or obviously my information's on the website as well, so I can go through more detail with you as well. So pension credit is a means tested benefit for people on a low income who have reached the qualifying age to top up your income. So pension credit is split into two parts. So guaranteed pension credit, so if you've reached state pension age, it'll top up sort of your weekly income if you're on a low income, and you have a savings pension credit. But this one you must have reached state pension age before 2016, so it might not, I don't think that that's really there at the moment. You can still claim pension credit if you're working, and for couples you must have both reached that state pension age in order to claim pension credit. When you do claim pension credit, your income is calculated. If you have a partner, then that joint income is considered as well. So any income can count. So state pension, any other pensions that you might have for employers, any earnings from employment if you're still working, and most benefits, sort of like carers allowance, will be classed as that income as well. Benefits that aren't counted, adult disability payments, attendance allowance, child benefit isn't classed as an income, and disability living allowance if you're still paying that as well. And PIP isn't considered housing benefit either, I don't believe. So you might get extra accounts, you might get extra amounts of pension credit if you have other responsibilities and costs. So that top up and extra amounts are known as sort of guaranteed credit. If you do have a disability and claim a pension credit, you could get an extra £76 a week if you get any of the so if you get attendance allowance, PIP, or the adult disability payment, you could get like a little bit of an extra top up to top up that pension credit as well. And if you care for another adult, obviously that's your carer's allowance, or if you're responsible for children or young people as well. So with things like housing costs, that will fall under your universal credit. So you'll get housing, with universal credit, it's one payment, but lots of things are taken into account. So you'll get like a housing element of universal credit, and the same goes for if you were claiming job seekers allowance, things like that will come into your universal credit payment. And to kind of help, it is a bit of a minefield when we're talking about lots of these benefits. That's kind of a whistle-stop tour of some of the benefits that you might be entitled to. Kidney Wales work really closely with Turn to Us, which is an online benefits calculator. You can check online with them yourself if you want, with regards to what benefits you may be entitled to. With some of the amounts that you receive, it is on a case-by-case basis, so they'll judge it by what your personal circumstances are. But obviously Kidney Wales are there to support you with any applications that you might be needing to make. And also other kidney charities as well. Kidney Care UK have launched a welfare and benefits specific people to guide you through these applications. They are available on dialysis units, and can help you with any applications and evidence that you need. They're very good at kind of it's their bread and butter as well, of knowing what you could be entitled to, and helping you through that application process. If you need sort of help whilst you're making those applications, sometimes obviously if it's happened quite quickly, you've been diagnosed with kidney disease, you've had to come off work, you're waiting for that benefit payments to come in, Kidney Wales can also help you with short-term financial support, such as our grants. Our grants are up to £500, and this can be used for anything like rent or utility arrears that you might have, so those gas and electric bills, if you've not been able to make payments on those, we can help with arrears. Anything that you might need around the house, things like white goods, cookers, washing machines, dishwashers, and if you need a new chair, if you need a new bed or something for your dialysis machine, or anything that you think you might need for around the home, we can help support with that as well. Any application needs to be made through your renal social worker, so it's good to have a chat with them. They can let you know what other grants are available as well from other charities. We collaborate with other charities as well, so if you're needing a little bit more, or needing to kind of look at what other things you might be entitled to, we can certainly do that as well. We do also offer a wellbeing food voucher, so that's a food voucher of up to £150 to spend in Morrison's, Tesco's, Asda or Sainsbury's. And again, this is applied through your renal social worker, and this can really help sort of through those winter months. If you're struggling to pay those food bills and you're needing to put food on the table and you're just needing to pay the electric bill as well, you can apply for our grants and wellbeing food vouchers at the same time if you need to. So if you need a grant to help pay for your electric and utility arrears, you can use the grant for that and then still have a food bank, a wellbeing food voucher as well at the same time. Also, we can provide with food bank vouchers, obviously with your local food bank if you're needing a food parcel to cover you for a few weeks whilst we support you with any sort of benefit applications that you need. So that's also available as well. And we also have our wellbeing parent carer vouchers that are still available, just to help give a little bit of respite for any parents that are caring for a child with kidney disease. So if you chat to your kidney team, they'll know about that and be able to help you apply to us for that. Our grants and wellbeing vouchers are normally pretty quick to come through within a few working days. We'll keep you updated with the process. Once the application is received by us, we'll be able to process that for you. And also, general financial advice as well. We can also offer support with debt support with Step Change to help with any sort of mounting bills and things like that. They're really good at guiding you through the journey. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for any support, and they'll help you. They can contact creditors on your behalf, work out an affordable payment plan based on what you can afford, and let you know, tell you all about the different options that are available if you are struggling there. So that's sort of the quick version of what basic benefits are available and how Kidney Wales can support you. If you do have any questions or want to know any more information, you can just give us a call, or all our information, contact numbers and our website is linked on our Facebook page here, or we have Instagram, Twitter, and our website is really good if you just want to have a little chance to read through some of the support that we can offer you, and my contact details are on there along with an online form as well if you just want to have a little if you're not comfortable speaking on the phone straight away and just want to have a little chance to kind of read through things, you can have a little read through or request sort of any information from myself, and I can get in touch with you when's convenient there. So I hope that's been useful. It's just a little basic kind of chat to some of the benefits that are available out there if you haven't already thought of them or didn't know that they were there. It is worth really checking out the online calculators. We use Turn to Us. That website is very good to kind of goes into more detail of what benefits and how much you could potentially get, and that benefit calculator is really great at being able to compare your circumstances as well. So if you want to see how much you could possibly earn if you were working a couple of hours versus how much you could claim if you weren't working at all, that's available for you as well. Or if you'd rather have a chat to myself over the phone, I can help guide you through that. And as I also mentioned, we work collaboratively with other kidney charities, and in particular Kidney Care UK have a fantastic welfare and benefits advice service that can guide you through the actual application process then if you're struggling with the forms, as they can be a complete minefield to understand sometimes. And if you need any sort of assistance there, they're fantastic at helping and knowing the right things to kind of include on these forms as well. So hopefully that has been useful, and if you have any questions, please get in touch, leave them in the comments below, or you can message me privately on our Kidney Wales page, or you can contact us on our number or check out our website. We've got lots of different ways that you can contact us, whatever is comfortable for you. So I'll take this opportunity just to say I hope you all have a lovely Christmas and a happy New Year if I don't speak to anybody before then, and just always know that we're here to support, so please don't be afraid to get in touch. No question is too small or too silly. That's what we're here for, to support you through your kidney journey there, no matter what happens. So I shall leave you there, and bye.